Good morning. After we said goodbye to Steve and Dee, we didn't do much. So here we are, still in Fenny Compton. But today, we've decided to move on, heading towards Cropredy. It's the last of these hot, sunny days. Normal weather will resume tomorrow. So let's go for a short cruise before it gets too hot and enjoy this lovely weather.
And we're off on another beautiful sunny day, leaving Fenny Compton behind for a few days, seeking pastures new. Here's Fenny Marina. Fenny apparently means marshy ground. We walked here, stood on that bridge, and we saw the most enormous fish. Couldn't believe our eyes. Huge fish in the marina. Must feed them well. Beautiful old footbridge. Turnover bridge where the towpath goes onto the other side. Yeah, it is. The A423 road bridge going over. And then you can see a really long, straight bit of canal. It used to be a tunnel, a kilometre long. Apparently it collapsed. It's no longer a tunnel, thank goodness. It's quite narrow. We're bound to meet boats. Like being back on the Shropper. This is the remains of an old railway bridge where the Stratford and Midland Junction Railway used to cross. The only one we'll encounter on this trip, but there are loads more further down the Oxford.
And here we have Bridge 142, which doesn't go over the canal. It goes over the feeder, at least in theory, feeds water from the reservoir to the canal. Well, here we are at the top of Claydon Locks. We've been cruising on the summit, so now we're going down, and in fact there's a boat waiting to come up, and it's their lock, so as good boating etiquette dictates, we'll let them have it. Busy flight of locks this. One boat in, one boat out, all the way down so far. I guess everyone's got the same idea as us. To get the cruising over with before the heat of the day really sets in.
Taking a slightly easier option maybe. In between the gates.
Well, here we are. A semi-shady mooring at the bottom of those locks, where I think we'll stay as long as the couple on the boat in front of us that we hit when we were mooring up stop glaring at us, that is. And we'll see what happens this afternoon. Let's have a cup of coffee. And believe it or not, Judith has volunteered to go on a 5 and a bit mile walk, nearly 6 miles actually, in the sun. So let's go for a little explore. There we are. That's Marigold. as seen on Cruising Alba, now in new ownership. Distinctive paint job. And here is the small village of Claydon, which gives its name to those locks that we've just come down. Small collection of houses, church of course, no pub. So we're moving on. So since this morning we have crossed over into Oxfordshire, but the countryside stays stunning.
Happy! Oh, just over the year, and here we are.
Well, after a sweaty trudge over a series of ploughed fields, here we are coming into the village of Cropredy. Now we hope to be here tomorrow on the boat, so this is a bit of an advanced recce and also an opportunity just to explore the countryside between where we are and here, and also have a pint. But Cropredy is probably best known as the venue for Fairport Convention's festival, folk festival, but it's also a pretty canal side village in its own right. Back on the canal at Cropredy, checking out the moorings and heading for the Brasenose Arms. Let's check out the Brasenose Arms. Probably named after the college. So refreshed, all we've got to do now is walk 2 miles up the towpath to the boat. Easy, you would think. Actually, we heard bad things about the towpath, but it was all right walking back from Cropredy. And now we're back at the boat, and we're going to make the best of the last of these balmy evenings before the weather turns a bit more changeable. So unless anything interesting happens, I'll see you in the morning. Well, it's dawned a definitely cloudier but muggy day, and the weather doesn't know what it's going to do. Rain is in the air, but we're just going to take a risk and get going towards Cropredy. If it rains, we have an umbrella. So let's go.
And we're off, leaving our mooring, nice shady mooring at the bottom of Claydon Locks, and we're just heading a short way to Cropredy, hopefully if we can get moorings. Oh, it's lovely and cloudy today, beautiful. Here we have Clattercote Wharf. Got an organic shop, well, a shop with organic produce. Just coming into our first lock of 3 today. This is Elkington Lock.
Just walking between the locks, done the first one, and we've just been told there's a queue at the second one, so let's go and check that out. Try not to fall in the canal on this somewhat treacherous towpath, but at least it's not overgrown with stinging nettles like it is earlier on. Sorry, that wobbled, that was me falling into a muddy puddle. And here we are, a stone's throw from Cropredy. So I think we'll stop here until tomorrow. Well, we've had lunch and we sat on the boat while it rained, but the rain's gone and the sun's come out for now. So here we are down by the River Cherwell, which gives its name to the valley through which we've been cruising, and very nice it is too. And we've climbed up from the river to get this stunning view back over the valley. Absolutely fantastic. Just walking over these lovely hay meadows near the village of Wardington, just a mile off the canal. Important to get off your boat and explore, otherwise you'd never see any of this. You'd just sit by the canal, which is lovely, but I think you'd miss out. And just grazing the outskirts of another pretty little Oxfordshire village just off the canal, Williamscote. And we're just heading back to the canal, and we came across this stunning vista. Final view over this valley before we start descending back down to the canal. You can just see Banbury behind the trees to my left, tomorrow's destination, but for now I think we'll enjoy the illusion of rural countryside just a little while longer. And here we are back at the Cherwell, just beside the canal. So now it's just a question of walking back up to Cropredy and finding the Red Lion. Only fair, we tried the Brasenose yesterday.
And we're off. It's the next morning. It's been through an incredibly narrow gap. Used to be an old bridge, I think.
So there's Cropredy Lock done. And we exit past this gorgeous little cottage. Classic canal side scene.
Something different round every corner. He's digging out a lake. It's interesting. See our two boats. Because we were going over the bridge. Triceratops. Yay. Hello. Hello. Some towpath works. Putting the armco and then filling it in. Stop. Keeping your legs cool. Well, I'm in Flat Mill Lock. And while the lock's empty, and Pete's gone to see if he can help a fellow boater who's broke down in the lock, and he thinks it's the thumb belt, and we have spares.
So today is particularly slow progress. Lots and lots of moored boats, canoeists, boats coming the other way, queues at the locks, and the canal is very shallow. So there's no point revving up the engine when the canal's this shallow, you just churn up the mud. So we're going to have to take it very steady to Banbury. And here we have the M40 wending its way to London. First bit of modern civilization we've come across in quite a while. Banbury approaches.
Just coming into Banbury, past these permanent moorings. Embrace the canal, building all these places. Oh, it's the historic boat. Oh dear. There's a museum and there's the boatyard that goes across, yeah. Tooley.
Well, here we are, moored up the other side of Banbury after considerable shenanigans with locks, water points, services, etc. in a allegedly peaceful mooring, although it doesn't seem that peaceful at the moment. It is handy, however, for Morrison's, so we'll go there, stock the boat up, and then decide what we do next. Do we stay here, or do we see if there's something better just round the corner? We shall see. Well, we didn't move in the end. We went to Morrison's, and my Good Samaritan act continued, and I helped the guy next door get his engine started. And after the exertions of the day, and the fact that there really aren't any other moorings on this stretch, we thought we'd stay put in this somewhat urban setting. So I think we'll say goodnight for now, and I'll see you in the morning for a little look round Banbury. Well, we knew today was going to be a bit cloudy and rainy, so the plan was to stay in Banbury and have a look around. And after spending most of the morning in the boat because it was pouring with rain, now we're off for a little explore, and in particular an explore of Banbury's historic canal past. And here we are back where we were yesterday, and this time in tourist mode, looking at the central part of Banbury where the canal goes past a shopping centre, the Banbury Museum, which is where we're headed, Tooley's historic dockyard, and they put in a lot of visitor moorings here since we were last in Banbury, but we chose not to moor here. I don't know whether that was the right thing to do, but we're happy where we are. And let's start our exploration of Banbury with a look round the museum's exhibit of robots. And this is a particular point of interest for boaters, in that this is Tooley's historic dry dock and boatyard, made famous as the place where LTC Rolt refitted his boat Cressy before the voyage documented in his book Narrowboat. LTC Rolt, of course, one of the founding members of the Inland Waterways Association that led the revival of the canals. And I suppose every town has to have a place like this. This is the Castle Quay shopping centre, built on the former site of Banbury Castle, which was demolished to rebuild the town after the Civil War. Out into the rain of old Banbury to visit the old Reindeer Inn, I think the oldest pub in Banbury, or at least one of the oldest ones, dating from the 17th century. Sorry, the 16th century, built in 1570.
Cheers. And we're having lunch.
Before we leave this lovely pub, selling a wide range of Hook Norton ales, it's important to look at the Globe Room, built in 1570. And the oak panelling was lost and sold down to London, but they managed to get it back and reinstall it. Apparently behind this oak panelling, a rifle presented to Dick Turpin was found. Well, not a rifle, a gun. Well, we've been forced to come out into the rain because we couldn't drink any more Hook Norton ale and still walk, and we're now in search of Banbury Cross. And here on this busy roundabout is the current Banbury Cross, not the one that the fine lady rode to on her fine horse. This one was built in the 19th century. There were two of them apparently. They were both destroyed. Good morning. And the rain has gone, and we've turned the boat round, and we're moored up just by Tooley's historic boatyard on our way back to Cropredy for a quick look round. I think I've already mentioned Tooley's is important in canal circles because of its association with LTC Rolt and his narrowboat Cressy. So this is the actual dry dock that Cressy was refitted in, although of course the superstructure's been modernised. Apparently the brickwork is the same as it was then, and has always been, I would imagine. Clearly still very much a working boatyard. And with that little look around Tooley's historic boatyard, I think we'll say goodbye to Banbury, and we'll say goodbye from Banbury as we head our way back up towards Napton. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and if you have, please like, comment and subscribe. Unless anything interesting happens, we'll next see you at Braunston, ready to go up the Leicester line back to Pillings. Bye bye for now.